Guys, welcome back to the 1 o'clock show. We're here today to show us a easy Mother's Day recipe with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. Dad and the kids need to get in the kitchen and cook Mum something. So what are we cooking for Mum today?
That's a great question. We're going to be doing some corn fritters. We're going to put a little bit of extra spice and bits and pieces in there. And Steve's got a very secret recipe for you.
Well, it's not going to be secret anymore, is it? Because it's A in our book, and B, we're going to do it on the 1 o'clock show. Yeah. So I'm going to do a coffee and maple bacon. So it's both of them. Sometimes you have maple bacon, sometimes you have coffee with your breakfast, but we're actually going to combine the two to give that kind of bitterness and sweet flavour to the bacon.
Are you hoping your kids are going to make this for you?
Yes, yes. This is FYI.
On your Mother's Day.
And then we'll finish it with just some smashed avocado with some gorgeous coriander, lemon, salt, pepper, lots of flavour.
Excellent.
Wicked. Get on with it then.
I guess I'll start then.
I'm going to start chopping while you're talking through your bacon.
So this is the normal way we cook. He has to do all the prep work, and I just. Are
you the chef? And he's like, yes, chef. Yes,
I'm the skivvy.
Aspiring chef, home chef.
Yeah.
No, aspiring chef, skivvy.
One of the two.
Slave.
So I'm just going to go. What you could do to make this really fancy is go down to your local. Just going to grab some hot water.
See you, Steve.
Go down to your local coffee shop and grab just an espresso shot.
Okay.
But we're just using a teaspoon of instant with a tablespoon of water. And we're just going to let that sit for a little while, and then we'll mix just a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup into that.
Where did you get the inspiration for this from, Steve?
Good question. I'm not actually.
Good question, Will.
Do you like that?
I'm not 100% sure where the inspiration come from, but it was more a case of where did that vegetable go, Will?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, right, yeah, it's down there on the floor. Yeah, I see what you're doing. You asked me questions
while you're down there.
I think it was just a case of thinking about breakfast as a whole and thinking about what goes with what and the different types of like umami flavors. Like that's the salt and the sweet and the sour and the things you just can't describe. And I think that coffee and maple are so strong in their own right, but when combined, the bitterness and the sweet really trades off against each other. And then you've got the savouriness of the bacon. And it's like the vehicle to carry that. So very simple, lay your bacon out onto a bacon tray and just with a pastry brush, just give it a nice brush of the coffee and maple. And what you can do when you actually pop this into the oven is you can obviously turn it, baste it again, and just baste it as much as you want throughout the cooking process to just to add layers of stickiness. So we're going to pop that into the oven.
Guys, can I ask, because a lot of people think cooking is quite daunting. Why do you think that is?
That's a very good question, Sam. Because cooking can be daunting. Like, I remember when I very first started out, like I'm very comfortable cooking at home alone because I'm not under any pressure to deliver for anybody. It's just I'm making, almost. And what Steve taught me, like I was very afraid of a high heated pan, like pan on like firing. You can see the smoke starting to come up the side. Like that is scary for me. But you've got to give it a go. It's not scary. So long as you're relatively sensible with what you're doing, it shouldn't be intimidating. You should give it, everybody should just give it a crack.
Yeah, and I think like when you're cooking, say, a steak, you need, and you know, you want to put heat pulses through it on each side and turn it every maybe minute or so. You need it to be as hot as possible. And when you go into a restaurant, they can take things even hotter. They've got broilers that can get up to temperatures that we'll never be able to achieve at home, which is why we can't get the same caramelisation on a steak, you know? So
what's caramelisation again? Tell me.
I believe it's drawing the sugars out to the point where it kind of sweetens, but doesn't go bitter.
Yeah.
All right, so my smashed avocado has just had some lemon in there. When I say smashed, I mean it's not a puree, it's not slices, it's just kind of quite rustic. The lemon in there is for flavour, but it's also going to stop it from discolouring. It keeps it alive a little bit longer. Just salt and pepper, and then we'll finish it at the last minute with some coriander. So that will just be an accompaniment to the corn fritters and the bacon.
Beautiful, nice and smooth.
It'll be the healthiest bit of it.
We're going to come on to the corn fritters, Tam.
Okay.
And this is where I need a hand because I'm not very good at cooking on my own. Hence why I've got my little partner over here. So all I've been doing is, while he's been yabbering away over on that side, is just prepping up a few bits and pieces for this recipe. So all we need at the moment is we want some flour and eggs and some salt into the bowl, please, and give them a little bit of a mix. I've got flour, I've made it easy.
You've measured it all out for me?
Yeah. You can get on the salt wheel.
I'll direct this. I normally do this for Steve. Like I've got, you're taking my place. All right.
No drama.
start salting you up. Don't hesitate.
What do I need?
Flour, salt. Nice dry ingredients first. So we'll get the salt in there and the flour.
Bit of pepper.
Bit of Percy pepper. Oh, yes. Jesus. What else and then we'll put 2 eggs in there, please.
I'm cracking 2 eggs.
Oh, you know what he's doing here. He hates cracking eggs, so he's
don't grass me up.
So he's making you do this for him.
Should I make you crack the eggs then?
No, you do it. I've got 2 out for you already.
Oh, 2 here?
Yeah,
excellent.
It's all prep.
Excellent, just crack it.
Boy Scouts.
Hang on. What? Are you going to do it one hand?
Yeah.
Oh, what a champ.
Why?
I want to see this.
She's been saying, oh, I can't cook, I can't cook, I can't
Oh, I thought you were going to do the opening up with one hand.
Oh, God, no.
That's still pretty good. You haven't got very much whiteness on your hands.
Done.
Look at that.
Lovely.
Give that a little bit of a mix around. I've got a whisk, or you can use a spoon, whichever one whatever works better for you. So
is there an extra egg yolk going in there?
Yeah, there's an extra egg yolk. I just want to get the eggs broken up first, and then I'm going to get the egg yolk going in there. I can help you with this bit.
Thank you.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any shell in there this time.
Did you crack that egg though, or did Steve crack it?
I cracked it. Not that.
Do you want me to crumble this feta for you, mate?
Start crumbling. So we've got 100 grams of feta going there. If you keep going with your mix, I'm going to start slowly chucking ingredients in there.
What are we throwing in?
I've got a really small bulb of fennel, which I've diced very finely. I think you probably witnessed me chuck most of it on the floor earlier. I've got some spring onions that are going to go into the mix. And then the key ingredient, and this is something that I've learned certainly in my past couple of years with Steve, is fresh herbs are critical to
when you were
cooking.
chopping that, the smell of the coriander was amazing.
Isn't that amazing? And you get that hit on the nose, and that entices you in. And not a lot of people like coriander. We'll have some feta going in there, please. Lovely.
How much feta are we putting in?
Beautiful. That's 100 grams.
100 grams. Cool.
Right.
What's one of the worst cooking disasters you guys have ever had?
I think it was probably corn fritters with coffee maple bacon on the 1 o'clock show. Started out badly, tailed off a little bit in the middle, and less said about the end, the better.
I think there was an instance on MKR when I remember the bench being really long, and I was looking down the bench at Will, and he was at the same time opening up the smoker. Oh. And a smoker is supposed to be full of
smoke.
What was it full of?
Flames.
Flames. Flames. And I was just like, get it out. Because obviously, you know, you've now got your fish with direct heat rather than it's almost like a cold heat. It sounds ridiculous, but it's sometimes you can put ice cubes in a smoker to make sure it doesn't cook too much and the heat comes down, but the smoke kind of gets into the food. Yep. So it was a very kind of touch and go, and luckily a terrible, absolute disaster turned into a beautiful dish.
So what's next, boys? We've got our batter ready.
You've done an amazing job of mixing that batter in there, Tam.
We've got
stirring?
Yeah, it's amazing stirring. It's all come together well, and thanks to the lemon juice, it's going to be liquid enough to get it back in that pan.
You just didn't tip that on the floor.
No,
it's not. We sometimes do this thing where you put it above your head, but maybe not on this instance.
Okay, so we're going to get this in the pan. We're going to make our fritters over here.
All right.
So the pan's on. We've got a little bit of oil in there. That's been bringing it up to temperature. I'm keeping it relatively cool. So we're just going to go maybe a tablespoon, a big heat tablespoon there. We're going rustic. I'm not getting the rings out for this. So that's just going to cook on that side. Once that's cooked on the underside,
swip her over.
Golden, and give it a flip over.
I'd say 2 to 3 minutes on each side.
We're just having a quick look on the underside, right? You can see that's starting to golden up a little bit.
Yep.
You've got to be quite brave when you come to the flip. But at the end of the day, all you've got to make sure is that the egg's cooked out.
Yep.
And if it all goes wrong, we'll just call it scrambled fritters or something
scrambled fritters. Thanks very much. You see how much faith he doesn't have in me? There you go. Yes.
Flip.
Yeah, and bang, done. Look at that. What are you worried about? So we'll just give that another minute, and then we're going to be done on that side as well.
Perfect.
Okay, we're ready.
How is it?
Probably really caramelised on the bottom. It looks like Australia.
Okay, so we've got a couple of corn fritters there. Let's grab the, do you want to grab the bacon?
Sure. Never worry. If stuff doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And that's where you learn. That's where you start to understand, you know.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that bacon.
That's almost like we put it in there and it cooks and it came back out again.
Perfect.
It's beautiful. So I've just got some coriander going into the avocado.
Nice.
Doesn't have to be too finely chopped.
When we're bringing dishes together, it's trying to keep everything aligned. So we've got some coriander going into the fritters, so it's also going to go into the avocado as well.
Yep.
Everything's got to sort of make sense on the plate. Like, why have you got an ingredient on there? Yeah, like, and everything's got to be edible.
Yes.
And so what Steve's done is obviously brought the coriander in. That's a little bit fresher than we've cooked it off, so it's obviously steamed a little bit, softened, and then this fresh coriander is going to give that hit and then re-emphasise the fact that you've got coriander in that dish.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we've got lots of gorgeous bacon.
It's beautiful. It smells amazing, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It looks amazing.
And there you've got it. It's our corn fritters with smashed avocado and some coffee and maple bacon.
Rightio, my
Don't cut yourself
I'm
with
going
that.
to eat by myself.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
We've had this a few
Get
times.
stuck in.
I'm going to rate you out of 10.
Yep.
Like Pete and Manu.
Get a bit of everything
Get
on
a
the
bit
fork.
of everything on the fork.
Yep.
Where's the sauce? No, just
Oh, you don't need sauce for this. It's that good.
Alrighty.
That was hot, wasn't it?
Oh, do you hear the crunch though? I heard the crunch. That was either a filling dropping out or I've left a stone in from the lemon.
This is amazing.
Yes. Is it?
Absolutely.
Yes. That's what we want to hear.
So it should all work together. You know, the main component's going to be the corn fritter. The butteriness is coming from the avocado, and then you've got the sweet and savoury from the bacon.
I haven't got coriander in my teeth, have I?
Nope.
No.
Amazing.
Thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you for having
Grab
us
the
back.
cookbook. Will and Steve's brand new cookbook is out now online, so make sure you grab it.
Please
Thank
do.
you very much.